This is Brandon Cutler from AEW. You're watching Cole TV.
Revolution brings a revolution. Let's go. Take the flag off the track, back to back. We attack, watch a kick back, and we go clap, clap, clap.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to our AEW Revolution prediction show. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner, my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Ro.
How we doing out there, world?
Doing pretty fine and dandy and sweet like candy. And as you can see, we are not alone. Also joining us here on our prediction show, we've got the one and only, the very nice, the very evil, MJ. What's up? Yes.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. And also join us, we've got our good, close, personal friend, Extreme League Wrestling. How are you, sir?
Sir, you did not warn me you were going to be playing such a banger at the start of this. I was like,
Yes.
I feel ready for Revolution now.
Feel ready for Revolution. There you go. And
We got
joining
banger
us for the first
after
time,
banger
after
banger.
There you go. And join us here for the first time on our prediction show. Please welcome Don. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
And of course, last but certainly not least, he is the Wrestletok Drip God himself, Hambone. How you doing,
What
buddy?
is up, all your fucking marks?
Hey, man, we're ready for some revolution. So, yeah, first off, I gotta say this, like, it's kind of, if you compare it, like, to last year's to this year's, it does feel kind of different, doesn't it? But I don't think it's, I got to thinking about this today, it's not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. I mean, I feel like it's like with AEW and stuff, I know there's a lot of critics and a lot of people out there, and let's face facts, the honeymoon phase with AEW is over. I mean, especially now that you've got WWE that's going on all cylinders. It's WrestleMania season for WWE, of course. But I feel like with what AEW had and has, and with what they've put on here, like with these 8 matches, I'm feeling pretty confident, pretty good about this show. What do you all think?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the vibe is definitely different now that there's a whole, Muffin Man missing from the Revolution card this year. But I feel like,
Wow.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
no, but I know the dog, the dog of the Muffin Man.
Oh,
That lives on Drury Lane?
Yes, absolutely. But I feel like this card, like, I don't know, it feels like more of a mature card than I feel like Revolution has had in the past, to where, like, we're like, exactly like you said, like we're over like the honeymoon phase of AEW, and now we're getting to like the meat and potatoes of what they can do on like so like not big show, because of course it's a big show, but not as highly of like a publicized show, I think.
yeah. I feel like there's a lot of guys and gals on this show that are going to get some shine, that are like in some good spots. And I mean, heck, let's just get right into it, because one of those guys is the first match we're going to talk about here. Talking about absolute Ricky Starks, one-on-one with Le Champion, Chris Jericho. And the stipulation in this one, everyone is banned from ringside from the Jericho Appreciation Society. But I'm glad to see Ricky Starks being put in like a really big time spot. I mean, he definitely deserves it. He's definitely one of the future stars of not only of AEW, but just professional wrestling in general. What do you all think in regards to this matchup? I'll start with you, B-Roll.
Oh, remember when we got to meet him? That was glorious.
I know, right? Yeah.
Such a nice dude, and I gotta say, Hambone, this is one dude that puts your drip game to shame.
I'll agree with that.
He had on some loafers. He had on like the gold necklace that day. You know, the Rock $5,000 shirt and stuff. Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is, since they kind of started this program or whatever, if that's what you want to call it, Chris Jericho is the perfect person for Ricky Starks to be in a program with. I mean, not that Ricky Starks needs Chris Jericho, but it's just, it is what it is. He is Chris Jericho. He is Le Champion. He is the Ocho. He is the Wizard. And then you top that off with, you got Stroke Daddy over here. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I would expect this match to open the show. That's my prediction, that it opens the show.
I could see that. It'd be a damn good opener too. Like, what do you think about this matchup, MJ?
I'm very excited. So I was in the crowd for Dynamite when they signed the contract to do this match, and I was so stoked for it. I have always loved how Jericho puts over younger talent, and I'm just incredibly excited for this match.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a pretty good one, and I agree, B-roll, like you say, and I think an opener it'd be perfect. Hambone, how about your thoughts?
I'm very much looking forward to this match. I am a huge Ricky Starks fan. I have been since he was in NWA years ago. The man is an absolute star, no pun intended. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Jericho has a habit of putting over younger talent, so I think that's what's going to happen here. I'm more afraid of what happens after the match.
Oh, like where Ricky Starks goes from here.
Yes.
That's a valid point. I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of wanted to talk about that as well.
Oh, let's talk about it, brother, because I just made a whole video about it. I just haven't put it up yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I feel like this is going to be the end of the program for him. I don't think it carries on. So, and I do feel like Ricky had a lot of momentum after the title tournament and the match with MJF. But I don't know like what other like heel in monster heel in AEW like he could really like would give him that shine and put him, still in that main event pedestal. Like I kind of racked my brain over it, and like the only thing I can think of is if they go this route. They've kind of suggested it over the past couple weeks, but y'all get the vibe that like they're turning Blackpool Combat Club heels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also have a video about that, but I have yet to post it.
Yeah.
We're getting all the scoops here tonight, folks.
Yeah.
So I mean, how much time do we have here? Do you want me to get into it a little bit or no?
Let's go, brother.
So here's my issue, because it's bigger than Ricky Starks. My issue right now is that, and I love AEW, but they have a real problem where they keep taking their young talent, building them up, getting them extremely hot and popular, and then as soon as they're at the top of their popularity, they completely cool them off. They did it with Orange Cassidy after Orange Cassidy was the hottest wrestler on the roster after his feud with Chris Jericho, which he won, and then he did nothing for years. They did it with Malachi Black. They did it with House of Black. They did it with Wardlow. And now they're doing it with Eddie Kingston. And my fear is that Ricky Starks is the next one. He's going to win this match with Jericho, in my opinion. There's my prediction. I know we weren't giving it already. But like you said, where does he go from here? Mm-hmm. AEW has the tendency to completely stop pushing people once they get popular, and I feel like that's Ricky Starks right now.
Maybe Tony's like, you know what? Okay, I'll make another title. That's what we'll do. It's
all Pacific title.
Yeah.
It's the Antarctica Championship.
There you go. I like it. Don, what do you think about this matchup with Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks?
I think Ricky is going to get a win, and that was a good thought though. Where does he go from here? Because I don't have a clue. But just to see him get the win over Jericho would be okay for me. I mean, it's long overdue, but yeah. Who will he face next? I don't know.
That's a good question. But, I mean, I don't see him going after the TNT title, like, because I mean that's going to be like Wardlow, Joe, and Hobbs are tied up with that. So it's like What do you?
Well, why don't you see him going after the TNT title though?
I don't know. It just to me, it's like okay, that title, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. But I'll give you kind of a brief opinion on that. I feel like the reason Joe, and I love Joe, but I feel like the reason Joe beat Wardlow was didn't Wardlow get hurt and was out for a while. And I mean,
Think so.
I
That's
feel
what they
that like
say. That was the rumor that
yeah,
he got hurt his leg.
because I feel like they were just kind of. I don't even know if like they were doing. They had the title, with Wardlow, but I feel like Wardlow needs that definitive run with the TNT title. So I can't see Wardlow like winning it at the pay-per-view and then like dropping it to Ricky Starks a month later, or whatever. Although it does seem like the TNT title is kind of that hot potato title. So
Right.
Well,
Right.
here, let me. I was thinking of this theory already anyway, and then we'll throw it to extremely to get his thoughts on this matchup. But so I'll go ahead and give my pick here and say I think consensus for most people is that Ricky Starks will end up winning this match. Now, Jericho Appreciation Society is banned from ringside for the match. I would highly anticipate, though, especially since Jericho's going to lose, a big beatdown on Ricky Starks after the match.
Yep.
Okay. With that beatdown, I mean, you could just have them, have Jake Hager put him through like 2 tables, like to the point where Ricky Starks is hurt. So have him be hurt for a little bit, let Hobbs and Wardlow do their program, and then ultimately, if say Hobbs was to get the TNT title a little bit down the road, a returning Ricky Starks is there waiting for him.
well, I mean, maybe that could work. It's a possibility. Extreme League, what do you think about this matchup, my friend?
Hambone, I'm gonna need a quick hot tag, brother, because I also have some opinions similar to yours. So, like, I do agree. I hope they don't do to Ricky what they have done to so many before him, but also, like, I know the match is going to be good, but I'm also kind of over this feud because it feels like it naturally ended a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just like, why are we doing this again? Like Jericho has the same energy as like a boy in a high school that like wants to ask out a girl, but he's too nervous, and everyone can see, and we're just like, just ask her out already. That's been their entire feud, and I'm just not about it. I think Ricky is going to win, but oh god, I feel horrible having this take, but this is my pee break match.
Oh,
This is high tea. This is my pee break match. I'm not gonna lie. Look, love both men. Think the match is gonna be great. I don't care for the story. You know what? This is how I want it to end. Everyone is banned from ringside, but not every hat. And Chris Jericho goes to the ring wearing the hats, and I want him to have like some brass knuckles in it. He does a Judas effect as Ricky Starks, but somehow he still kicks out.
I like it. Okay, so I think, would you say an overall, I think, yeah, probably Ricky Starks is going to pull this one out. But so are we all in agreement Ricky Starks is winning?
Yep.
Well,
Indeed.
we're either all going to get this one right or we're all going to get it wrong. But I do think it is a extremely valid point of where does Ricky Starks go from here. That it's going to be interesting to see for sure.
All right. Up next. Oh, like Daniel Day-Lewis, there will be blood, folks, to Texas Death Match. It's probably coming from John Moxley. John Moxley.
I was gonna say I got a hot take. Someone's gonna bleed.
Yeah.
What? No.
You don't say. So we've got John Moxley and Hangman Page in a Texas Death Match. I'm intrigued by this. Like, I mean, I've enjoyed the work they've done so far. I have enjoyed the story for the most part. There's been kind of a couple things if I'm nitpicking, but for the most part, overall, I have enjoyed the chemistry these guys have and the build up to this match. But I mean, yeah, this is just going to be a violent war. I mean, there's going to be blood. It's going to be stupid. Like, it probably, like, John Moxley's going to come through the crowd and he's already going to be bleeding. Like, I love John, but it seems like it's like that's his thing now. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna bleed no matter what. So I'm sure Renee loves that. But B-roll, what are your thoughts on this Texas Death Match?
Oh, I mean, Texas Death Match is almost kind of the official gimmick match of Hangman Adam Page. He had one with Adam Cole. I think they classified that as Texas Death Match.
Yeah,
He
and,
had one with Lance Archer.
Lance Archer.
But yeah, I mean, you know me. You know I'm a huge Hangman mark. I'm gonna get excited anytime he's in any match. I mean, he could be wrestling a broomstick, and I'm gonna be there for it. So I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this. I mean, the stories. I mean, I kind of liked how they used the injury in the story a little bit. I mean, you know, this is a. I know they had one title, or yeah, they had the title match in because Mox was still champion then, right?
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I remember when Hangman was champion, kind of like wishing that we'd get Mox Hangman, and I mean, here we are getting it. It's just not for the title.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think this definitely ends their feud. I think, which I think you'll see. That may be a common thread for some of these matches, but yeah, I expect there to be probably a lot of blood. They're probably going to be all over the place.
It's going to be a war.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't know where they. I would say I think Hangman's going to win, but
yeah. This one, I feel like in this one, Hangman needs this win more than Moxley, because I feel like with Hangman, ever since he lost the title, I feel like it's like he's been around, but he hasn't really had anything huge. It was obviously it was cool, the finals of the trios with the Dark Order against the Elite, and they've kind of teased that for a while now. But they kind of went right into this program with them. So yeah, I feel like ultimately I think Hangman's got to win this. What about you, MJ? What are you thinking about this matchup?
I mean, we haven't seen Hangman at a pay-per-view since Double or Nothing, right? Last year because of the injury.
Would have been All Out in the trios finals.
Oh, he was in the trios finals.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like we have to see a Hangman win. It's just, I feel like he needs a little bit more of the spotlight in that way. So I think we're going to see a Hangman win for sure. I feel like this is going to be that surprise match that is going to be like one of the surprising best matches on the card, to be honest with you. I think people are kind of going to go into it not knowing what to expect, and I think it's going to be awesome. Honestly, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, this one intrigues me the most. Other than one other match, but yeah, as far as what I think, you hit it perfectly. I think it's just okay, we've seen them go at it before. We kind of know what to expect, but I think somehow they're going to top the other matches, and it's just going to be a violent war. How about you, Hambone?
So I'm going to be honest, I'm the complete opposite. This feud has not really been interesting to me. The most interesting part of this feud for me has been Evil Uno's involvement. Because I'm really into the Dark Order and getting a more serious edge because I'm a huge fan of theirs. So I really liked his involvement. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little over Mox. He's on every single week. His shtick is the same every single week. I'm a little done with him. I could use him going away for a little bit, to be honest with you. So when it comes to this, I think that I agree that Hangman needs the win way more than Mox will, and I do think that he'll get it, especially because, as we hinted to earlier, does kind of seem like the Blackpool Combat Club are turning heel, and I think that a Hangman win here might be the break for Moxley for them to officially turn completely heel.
There you go. Don, what do you think about this Texas Death Match?
Oh, you're muted, Don.
Oh yeah, she's muted.
I'm sorry.
It's all
Um,
good.
You're good.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, my daughter had got me into AEW last year because she's a big fan of Hangman. So I got to see his matches, and I saw that his Texas Death match with Lance Archer. I liked it. So I think it's going to be the match itself is going to be really, really intense because I'm going to be like, it's going to be cringy for me because, I'm going to be like, oh, I hope they don't have another concussion. But I mean, Hangman, he said in his promo that it's nothing Moxley could take away from him,
Well,
and
that's
then
true.
and then Moxley is like, I live for this shit. So it's going to be a good Texas Death match. I'm looking forward to it. I'm more of a Moxley fan. I've been a Moxley fan since he was on WWE. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I think Hangman will get the win.
Nice. There you have it. And Extreme League, what are you thinking on this Texas Death Match, my friend?
While I love the ace of AEW, Mox has been trying to go on vacation for like the past year and a half. Let the man have a rest, please.
Yeah.
Just every time he thinks he's out, they pull him right back in. But yeah, I would agree. I think this is Hangman's and leading to a Blackpool Combat Club heel turn. But yeah, it's gonna be great. This is one of my most looked forward to matches, just because I love both men.
And I have to say, I do have a theory about that, but I'm going to share it here in a little bit, and I'll explain why. But I think we're all... So what's everybody thinking as far as who's winning this? I'm saying Hangman. I know B-Roll's saying Hangman.
Hangman.
Hangman. Yep, Hangman.
All right, Hangman. There you have it. So, all right. So it's like B-Roll said, we're either going to be all right or all wrong so far.
That's right. I mean, this is like whose line is it anyway, though? I mean, the points don't matter. So I mean,
right.
Here, I mean, so one last thing on this though. This honestly popped in my head as I was, talking during while I was talking about this match. But so I agree, Moxley does deserve time off. But I'm also seeing a future feud / continuation of this story because it's been teased multiple times about Hangman reuniting with the Elite. If the Elite loses their trios title and Hangman was to go back with them, there's 4 members of Blackpool Combat Club. There's 4 members of the Elite again.
I mean, is there 4 members of the Blackpool Combat Club, though? Because, I mean, every week, Bryan Danielson gets his ass beat by like 4 or 5 guys, and none of the Blackpool Combat Club ever comes out to help.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
I agree. But technically, yeah. But who knows? Who knows?
Oh, boy. Here we go. No holds barred. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. I just had to do JR saying Jack Perry. I love that. Going up against Christian Cage, a match we have long been waiting for. Christian, of course, finally coming back, healed up from the injury. This match just got announced on Dynamite this past week. Of course, we knew it was going to be, they were going to probably meet in some capacity, but it's very cryptic, that Jungle Boy promo where he was like digging the grave for Christian Cage. And like my first thoughts was like, okay, are they going to do like some gimmick like buried alive match or something? But they did announce that it's a no holds barred match. But hey, anything can go in this one. So B-Roll, what are you thinking on this no holds barred encounter between these 2 longtime rivals?
Yeah, I mean, this match has to deliver. It's because there was tons of momentum for this feud, heading into All Out, right?
Yeah, and then Christian got hurt. Yeah.
Christian, heading into All Out, and Christian got hurt. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Heel Christian is the best Christian. It's tough to find, especially in AEW, a better heel than him. The people need to walk away from this match saying it's match of the night. This match needs to steal the show, in my opinion.
I think this one has to be that. I mean, we've kind of seen it a little bit, but with talking about getting the shine of all these young, like, you know, the AEW pillars or whatever you want to call them. Like, this is the one match where it's like, I think this has to be the definitive. Okay, Jungle Boy is fucking here and has arrived, and like this is his match. I think that has to be established in this matchup.
Interesting fact: Jungle Boy is the only one of the 4 pillars to not hold a singles title. He's had the tag title, but he's hold a singles title. But yeah, I mean, my pick would be Jungle Boy, Jack Perry. But yeah, I hope that Christian is like 100% go, and like we're not seeing like the reverse of what we saw at All Out, where it's like a squash and Jungle Boy squashes Christian.
Right.
And then also, where the heck is Luchasaurus?
So they are currently in a lawsuit over the Luchasaurus mask. That's why he hasn't been on.
Oh.
What, with Lucha Underground?
So the originators of the mask are currently suing AEW because they never gave clearance for Luchasaurus to wear the mask on television, I guess, or something.
What?
Yeah, it's essentially that. I was actually going to make a joke in my prediction about how Luchasaurus is going to come out wearing like a paper plate with a smiley face on it. It's Luchasaurus. He doesn't look different at all, and we're not going to talk about it.
I mean, you know what? Let's be honest. Luchasaurus needs to drop that gimmick anyway. Like I don't really feel like that guy can progress without dropping that gimmick. He really needs to drop the mask and just come up with something else.
But
it was great at first, but I think the time has passed on that gimmick.
But my inner child loves Luchasaurus.
I love my little evil dinosaur.
I take him seriously.
If I could be serious for a moment, though. MJ, what are your thoughts on this no holds barred matchup?
So I really loved the Luchasaurus Jungle Boy match at All Out. It was one of my favorite matches on the card. I thought it was incredible. I'm not a fan of the Jungle Boy gimmick, even though the song is really fun to chant to. Over time, of course, I know he's going to have to drop the gimmick to be like a really serious singles competitor. I mean, I think he's the future of wrestling, personally. One of the many wrestlers that I think is the future of wrestling. Unpopular opinion, probably amongst this group, but I cannot stand Christian. I have never liked Christian. Everyone has that one wrestler that they irrationally hate, and Christian is mine for some reason. I can't take him serious as a singles competitor. So maybe this will be the match to turn it around for me. I don't know. But yeah, anytime I see Christian, it's just an instant eye roll from me. So
MJ, I have someone similar who's also on this card. I will happily point them out.
Okay.
And I got a feeling you and I have the same one extremely, because I have one too, yeah.
Oh, well, this will be fun.
Yeah. So, all right, Hambone, what are your thoughts on this no holds barred encounter?
So, as Extreme League put it earlier, this is my P match. This feud has gone on way too long, and I know that part of it is Christian being injured, and that's fine. But this feud has gone on far too long for me. I love Christian Cage. He is one of the most underrated talents in professional wrestling of all time, period, ever, as far as I'm concerned. Heel Christian is amazing. And I am more interested in seeing what he does past this, because we're being honest, you brought up the 4 pillars, XOJ, and if you ask me right now who the 4 pillars are, Jungle Boy is no longer included in that. I don't really feel like he's lived up to the potential that AEW saw in him. I do think that he's probably going to win this match. I think he has to progress, but I still don't really see what he does after this. Like you all said, the Jungle Boy gimmick kind of got to go. So I say Jungle Boy wins, but I'm not that interested in this match.
It's interesting because like how we've all got different kind of pee break masks, and I've got a pee break mask too, which is coming up here. But
we're not to my P-Break match.
so. All right, Don, what do you think about this no holds barred matchup?
Well, first of all, it wouldn't matter which match is a pee break match because give me enough soda and they all be pee break matches.
You gotta go, you gotta go.
Hey, yep. But unlike MJ, well, I'll say this. I am not a big fan of Christian either. I never was a big fan of Christian, but I was surprised of Christian when he came to AEW and went on that singles role and won that title. I was very surprised to see him undefeated like that. And it really took me by surprise seeing Christian on that title run like that. But I still don't like him. And the promo itself was a bit much, but I mean it's Christian. What can you say? And then when Jungle Boy answered him with the grave scene and everything, that really I was taken away by that because he was actually crying in the videotape. Did you see that? In the scene?
Yeah.
He was actually crying in that scene. And that really took me, there for a bit. So I'm like, whoa, maybe this really, because, Christian said a lot of things like he didn't need to be in the business, and he treating the business like a video game and all this stuff. So it makes me feel like, and that was Jungle Boy's mentor. So I can understand how he must feel, having all those flashbacks of him and Christian over the time that they were together and everything. I think Jungle Boy needs to have this win to get past all that, all those memories and stuff. And he'll do it. He'll do it. I just hope that once it happens, that the storyline is gone, it's dead, because I'm really tired of the storyline. But the promos and stuff really, really got me wanting to see the outcome of this match. And I just hope that Jungle Boy pulls it off.
I agree. I think that's a great point. Extreme League, what do you think on this matchup?
All right, here's what I want. I want this to be a cinematic match. The cast of Riverdale is somehow there. They all summon the power of Jungle Boy's father to powerbomb Christian straight through the earth. And they just can't do it. And then finally they feel one strong arm helping them up, and it's Luchasaurus with the said paper mask that I mentioned earlier. And then somehow Christian grabs him, and they both get sent to the center of the earth. That's how you repackage Luchasaurus.
I like it.
But
man, I hope Papa Khan's watching this.
Dude, put me in, make me a booker right now. I swear to God.
Book that shit. See, my old ass, I thought you were going to go with like the 90210 reference, but all right, I got you.
No, we need that 18 to 35 demo. Riverdale's way more relevant.
Fair enough. So,
and dude looks just like his dad. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's uncanny.
Oh, yeah.
It's like his dad.
I didn't even know who he was at first until I kept looking at him right when I first saw him. I said, why does he look familiar? And then when somebody told me who he was, I was like, yep.
I think that'd be the perfect gimmick for Jungle Boy to move on. Is that I know everybody, like, as wrestling fans, our solution is to almost always turn him heel. But I feel like he would benefit from a heel turn and completely drop the Jungle Boy gimmick and just really lean into that his father was a star in Hollywood and he could be Hollywood Jack Perry and just start wearing suits all the time and just really lean hard into the fact that, I actually grew up a rich kid among the Hollywood elite and I'm better than this.
Yeah.
and just
I like
really lean into that.
I can see it. I can see that.
I didn't really grow up in the jungle.
Right.
It's work, brother.
In
You
fact,
got
I
that-
hated that.
You
He
stupid
probably say, I
March.
hated that damn song.
By the
Or-
way, that man wasn't really a dinosaur.
Hero, he could always spin it like the jungle of the city, right? Like LA is a jungle, right?
The concrete jungle. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, all Guns N' Roses with it.
Yeah. Oh
Concrete
God, Tony
Jungle
Khan,
Boy.
get your fucking checkbook out. You're gonna need to buy that song too, and it's gonna cost a shitload of money. More than Kansas, I can tell you that. All right, so the consensus here, we all thinking Jungle Boy's winning this one.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
No, I think
Yeah.
Jack Perry wins, but that's just me.
Yes, Jack Perry is going to win it.
Yes, Jack Perry is going to win this matchup. So there you go. Oh, Don, hold on now. I know you're getting the papers right now. It's all good. Your man's on the screen here. But let's talk about the first of our many title matches on this card, your TNT Championship matchup, where Samoa Joe defends against War Daddy himself, Mr. Wardlow. This, to me, I just feel like I feel like, okay, Joe, I mentioned this earlier. I think Joe kind of, and I love Joe, but I feel like, okay, Wardlow's hurt. Let's put the title on Joe until he gets feeling better. Okay, he's better. Wardlow's getting the title back. And I'm not going to be shocked if this is a squash match, honestly. With it being 8 matches on the show and you've got a 60-minute match, Iron Man match on the show, you're going to know you're going to have something that goes quick. In my opinion, I think this is the match that goes quick, and I think Wardlow gets his belt back. What about you, B-Roll?
Well, I mean, I feel like if I don't pick Wardlow, like I'm scared that Don's gonna come after me. But no, I mean, I think everything you said though, I do agree. I mean, it's kind of a win-win scenario because it's gonna let, and I love Samoa Joe, but it's gonna let Samoa Joe kind of, I think, go over to ROH. ROH TV just started at the time of recording this. It actually just started today. So I think it lets him go over there, do his thing over there, as well as, still make the appearances on AEW and everything. But yeah, I think it's a win-win. Man, to make it a squash though, that would be interesting. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think we're going to be seeing Hobbs and Wardlow. It would be the eventual outcome of this.
There you go. MJ, what do you think about this TNT title matchup?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you guys. I would be shocked if Joe won this. It wouldn't make sense to me. He already has an ROH belt. Wardlow's coming back and had the whole story about his dad with the hair and kind of like I don't mean this in a bad way, Don. I feel like everybody's going to be like, Don, I don't mean this in a bad way. The sad kind of sob story thing about the dad, so kind of pulling on the heartstrings. It makes you want to root for Wardlow. I feel like the audio clip of Don saying, I need you to beat Samoa Joe's ass, Wardlow, lives rent-free in my head. So, yeah, it's got to be Wardlow.
That was all the motivation he needed.
That's right. You did it, Don.
There you go. Hambone, what do you think about this TNT title matchup?
I agree. I mean, I'm a huge Samoa Joe fan. He has been one of my favorites for a very, very long time. But I don't see him walking out with the title. I'd be very surprised if he did. I don't really see a squash match. I think it'd be kind of weird to just have Wardlow squash Joe when he's a champion for the other company. So I think, we're just going to get 2 big meaty men slapping meat, which I'm down with. I am not, don't kill me, Don, but I am not the hugest Wardlow fan, but I do see the star potential in him. And I think that, he'll walk out with the title and they will try to recapture the magic that they had with him about 6 months ago when he was, the most popular guy on the roster.
There you go. Well, Don, I think I know your thoughts on this matchup, but let's go ahead and hear them nonetheless. What do you think about the TNT title? with your man Wardlow challenging Samoa Joe?
Well, y'all know how I feel about my man. I mean, you cut off his hair, you break him down. Of course, he gonna come back swinging.
Dawn, do you like him more with the long hair or the short hair?
I don't care.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't even care anymore.
She's
He's
not
fine no matter what his hair looks
No
like, right,
matter
Dawn?
what.
All right.
No matter what.
Fair enough.
And I got
cool.
Warlow to win. I got Warlow to win. He needs this win.
I'll tell you all this
And
right
maybe
now.
afterwards he can fly to Baltimore and take me out on a date as a
Yes.
celebration.
Yes.
He's going to win the title, and he's going to look right in the camera. He's going to say, "This is for you, Dawn."
Yes.
Yeah, I got Warlow. My boo.
Ward mommy, this is for you.
Needs to happen. It needs to happen. I will say this. I think Wardlow is the most beautiful man in AEW, and I have no shame in saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. All right, Extreme League. Tell me what you're thinking on this TNT title, my friend.
I think it's Daddy. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry, Daddy. Sorry. That is all.
Your daddy.
Enough said.
He is a beautiful man. I mean, yeah, look at that man. So
I mean, look, Samoa Joe is also a beautiful man in his own right, but I mean, come on. Like, come on.
Oh my God. That just brought me back to Steiner math when he's talking about. He's like, and you got Samoa Joe.
You got 33 and a third chance of winning. You take that. Multiply by the
I
Earth's
just saw that promo. I bust out laughing when I'm not a big WCW fan, but when I saw him talk about that, I was like, I bust out laughing. I was like, that is too funny. Oh my gosh!
So we had another clean
Consensus,
sweep,
right?
I do
Yeah, it's
believe.
Wardlow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
y'all were
He's
gonna
a pretty boy. He's a
I-
flat out pretty boy.
we're gonna
Daddy's
have
getting that belt back.
we're gonna have to start disagreeing, and I feel like I know some people's picks already, and we will end up disagreeing eventually.
Well, how
Oh,
about
yeah.
this next one? Okay.
Okay, hey, listen. Can I say something before we get into this?
Yes.
Can I curse on here? Is that cool?
You
Cool.
can say whatever you want.
I fucking hate Jeff Jarrett with a fucking passion.
Yes! Yes! Fucking yes!
Whoa,
Okay,
yo.
So
What is with all of the Jeff Jarrett slander? I love Jeff Jarrett.
he's fine, but there's no reason why he should have half of the accomplishments that he has. But he's
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. I can
I
see somebody making the argument that he should not be wrestling on a weekly basis or be featured as much as he is. I will go with that. But to say he doesn't deserve the accomplishments, I don't know if I'd go that far.
I hate the guy, and I don't know why. His song's annoying. I don't like his gimmick. He's like, all due respect to the guy, he's fully accomplished, and all due respect to a multi-generational superstar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. I hate the guy, and I can't rationalize why. I just hate his face.
That's it for me. I hate his face. But here's the thing. I got to disagree with you. I do think Jeff Jarrett just gets natural fucking heat, and I got to respect him for that. But it does. I go back. For me, I just go back to the early days of TNA when he was the fucking champion. It was him and Triple H on like the two different shows pretty much constantly in the championship time. And I get it. It was what it was, but I still kind of have like post-traumatic stress disorder from there, that time frame. But I do respect Jeff Jarrett for what he is and stuff. But I feel like, okay, so this for me, this is my piss break match. My biggest gripe on this matchup is you have a loaded tag team division, and I hate to say it, but there are two teams in this matchup that are makeshift teams, and I would have much preferred the Guns against the Acclaimed one-on-one or in a tag match instead of a four-way.
I love Orange Cassidy. He is one of my current favorites. He has been for a very long time. That spot should have went to Top Flight.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I would have
I
much rather
agree.
preferred Top Flight and Aussie
I
Open
agree.
in this matchup. But I love Orange Cassidy and I love Danhausen. But I don't know. Like their makeshift team and the Triple J is what they're calling it. And like, I'm not a fan of the whole props to Sanjay because Sanjay, I've always loved Sanjay and I love Jay. But Satnam, I can't get into like I'm sorry, just all the guys that are like 7'10" or whatever. I just go back to Giant Gonzalez days
Yep.
and I can't get past that shit.
I hate giants in wrestling. If you're over 6'9", like I don't want to see you. Like giants are so hard to book because they're usually not very good, and logically they should be world champion. They should be beating the hell out of everybody, and you can't do that. And usually they're not very charismatic, or they don't really have much personality either. So if you're over like 6'8", like don't even train for wrestling. Get out of here.
Agreed and agreed.
The slander on the Punjabi Playboy. How dare you?
Get out of here.
They're just all like, you puny humans.
I must
yeah.
crush you. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. This is my bathroom break. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, makeshift tag teams, much like this makeshift graphic that I had to make because we can't find an updated graphic card for this, and apparently this one's only live on Fight. So if you're getting on Bleacher Report, I mean, you're gonna miss this.
So wait a minute. Is this saying it's on the pre-show, not on the main card?
No.
Well, how the
That's
fuck
bullshit because you can't watch Fight
So I
in
gotta-
America.
Yeah, you can't watch. Yeah, what the fuck? That doesn't make sense.
I'm making a joke about that. I have the live on Fight.
Oh,
I
I thought
do
you were being
too.
serious. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I have
that was a
it
bit.
too. I'm getting ready to watch it on Fight. I was like, huh? I
It's
paid
funny.
$20. What?
I was about to become so livid over a match I don't really give a fuck about. Like, what the hell? How dare you, Papa Khan? I'm giving you $50. You're going to give me the shit match I don't really care about because
I don't want to see this match, but god damn it, I want the option.
It's kind of like the equivalent of going to the buffet, and it's like, I got to get my money's worth. But, yeah.
You know, this one is kind of a tough one to pick. I mean, I feel.
I don't. I mean, I feel like the Guns should win this. Well, I would love to see the Acclaim win. I don't think they should have lost the belts, but I'm okay with the Guns. Let's see what the Guns can do. I'm going with the Guns on this one.
The Guns need to win for one reason and one reason only, and I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I felt like going in, like, after they won the belts, I thought that's kind of the program we were going to get was the Guns and FTR. But then again, you got to look at it this way. If they're going to go into that program, maybe kind of build them up a little bit more and then possibly go into that. But MJ, what do you think on this tag team championship encounter? Because I know it's got your boy, the Very Nice,
It
and the Very Evil.
does.
Dan
It has a lot of my boys. I'm a huge Acclaim fan too. Huge Orange Cassidy fan. Obviously, we've seen Orange Cassidy and Danhausen tag before. This even shocked me. I couldn't believe it last night watching Dynamite. I did not think that OC and Danhausen were going to pull out the W, to be honest with you. That shocked me. Like, I was excited because I'm a huge fan, but it was still kind of strange. I agree with you too, XLJ. I'm still a little bit miffed that the Guns have the titles right now. I felt like I was expecting that to kind of happen at Revolution and not have them have the belts before that. So I'm still a little bit like, some of the booking decisions, we can complain all day, right, about booking decisions, but that definitely threw me off a little bit. I also wanted to see Top Flight in this one as well. I'm kind of going with the Acclaimed here, even though I'm really having a hard time following some of the booking in AEW recently. So
Yeah, you're not the only one.
But I think I'm going to go Acclaim for this one.
Okay. All right, Hambone, what are your thoughts on this tag team championship encounter?
So, I agree that Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and Orange Cassidy and Danhausen should not be in this match. There should be to other teams that are actually teams. That being said, I'm looking forward to the match because I'm a fan of every single man in this match, including Jeff Jarrett. You're all slanderous. Man is underrated. I don't care what any of you say.
I'll say I respect him. I mean, he is what he does, but he's so damn good at what he does that I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to see him in this matchup. I don't want to see him weekly on my TV, but I will respect the fuck out of him.
But I do think, it'll be a good match. Like I said, I'm a fan of all these guys. 8 guys in one match. There's clearly going to be a lot of action. I am a huge fan of the Guns, and I also love the Acclaimed, as everybody does. But I do think it was the right move to take the titles off of them, mostly because that storyline had to go somewhere, and it wasn't going somewhere with another Acclaimed win. The Acclaimed won again. Okay, then why is Billy Gunn still with them? How does this has to end somehow, or the feud needs to continue somehow? And I think the logical way to continue that feud was giving the Guns the titles. More so than that, the Acclaimed, they took the titles off of them, but it's not like it's going to be the last time they win the tag titles. The Acclaimed are going to be around, I think, for a long time. I think they're going to be multi-time tag team champions. All that being said, the Guns walk out with the titles still.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're absolutely right. Don, what do you think about this tag team title matchup?
I can care less for real. I mean, I'm not big. I'm only a big fan of Orange Cassidy and Danhausen, but I mean, I'm going to go with the Acclaim because I don't like Jeff Jarrett either. I never could stand Jeff Jarrett, but I'm going with the Acclaim.
All right. I think I already know Extreme League's pick. You're going with Triple J, right, on this one?
Absolutely no, absolutely not. So fun fact, I was there the night the Guns won the titles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Everyone was so pissed. Like legitimately, I was like, I'm a little nervous. I was like, are we about to ride in El Paso tonight? See, here's my thing. I love Danhausen, but chances are he's gonna probably be the one in the match eating the pin. But it's fine. It's fine. We love Danhausen. We love Orange Cassidy. To be quite honest, I feel like I have a weird feeling like the Guns are gonna retain, and then we're gonna get FTR coming back at the Dynamite after Revolution or at some point. Because I feel like the Acclaim can go off and feud with other tag teams and be fine, and they're still going to be just as popular, and then we can round back to them getting the titles. But I feel like there's got to be more of a reason why the Guns have the titles right now, except to be heels against the Acclaim. I feel like there's another element to this that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So I think this is the first one we're kind of split on. So I think half of us are going the Guns. Let's just kind of go around. I'm saying the Guns. B-roll. How about you?
I say Guns because I'm hoping it leads to FTR. If I'm not getting FTR, I would say Acclaim, but my answer is Guns.
Yeah. And MJ, you were thinking the Acclaim. And then Hambone.
The Guns.
The Guns. And then Don, you were thinking Acclaimed, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And Extreme League.
As much as I want to scissor daddy ass, I think I think the ass boys have this on lock.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's I think we can safely say it's not going to be Triple J, and it's certainly not going to be, certainly not Triple J, and probably not going to be Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. I'll scissor you, buddy.
MJ just wasn't with me there.
I'm sorry. Which side? Over here.
No, it has to be your head. No, anyways. So from this World Tag Team Championship matchup, let's go into your next championship matchup. Oh boy. Can I just say this? Motherfucking put the fucking belts on the fucking House of Black. Damn it.
Yes.
Fucking do it. Tony Khan, you son of a bitch. I love you. Fucking put the belts on.
I agree.
If the House of Black doesn't win this match, I am going to riot. And by riot, I mean send a very strongly worded tweet to Tony Khan.
Give them something.
Just swarm them.
Yeah.
Swarm him with tweets. I mean, just swarm them.
Yeah,
Because I want to see
mean,
him win too.
this has the potential to be the acclaimed All Out 2.0.
And I honestly want to see it that the crowd just be House of Black, all House of Black on this one too. And I
But
think
then
it could happen.
Can I
then
just
again, go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Hambone. No, you
Okay.
go ahead.
So we kind of talked about this on Ego Drip. I am a massive fan of the Young Bucks, but I got to be honest, I'm tired of them right now. I'm tired of the Elite in general. I don't believe that they should have won the trios titles the first time, and I don't think that they should have won them back again. I also think that I don't really know what's going on with them, but they seem to be at a point where they are no longer taking anything in AEW seriously. That match that they had against Top Flight and AR Fox a couple weeks ago on Rampage, where they were just bouncing a basketball around, and they're in a fucking title match, and it's just, oh, we're just gonna play around and not take this seriously. I am no longer into the Elite, and this shit needs to end. Like, I'm over this. More so than that, I really feel like a lot of the AEW fans feel that way, and if the House of Black don't walk out with this titles, I really think like it's going to suck the air out of the arena.
Yeah.
One point I would make: they are in California, and I don't know exactly where the Bucks are from in California, but
Well, I honestly think Hambone hit the nail on the head. It's like the Young Bucks, as great as they've been, it's just I feel like it's to the point where it's just like rinse, repeat, do it over again. It's just like same shit, different day. And like I say, I love them, but it's just something's got to change. And I feel like I hope this is the start of that change. And House of Black needs to win these damn titles. I mean,
yeah,
when they first introduced the trios titles, they were my first thought of like, I cannot wait to see them with these belts.
Yep. My first thought was that the Dark Order would win them. I thought that would be kind of their reward for staying over despite being booked into oblivion. Even after Brody died, they were still, the most popular group in AEW. I thought that was really going to be their reward, and they're a start of a real push for them. But House of Black was my number 2. If it's not Dark Order, it's got to be House of Black. I really did not think that there was any chance that the Elite was walking out. I thought that was the obvious answer, and I did not think that we were getting that.
Yeah. It goes back to something my good friend Hambone said a long time ago. The answer can be obvious, but it just has to make sense.
That's a good point. MJ, what do you think?
Cookie.
Yeah, there you go. What do you think?
Maybe I should do that. Wrestling fortune cookies.
Ooh,
that would be cool.
That could be a new segment for me.
I think we're onto something.
Hambone Fuchsia say. And then I come up with something.
It's got to be House of Black. I completely agree. I would be disappointed, and I would be so surprised. House of Black.
Yeah. Agreed. And then Hambone, obviously you're going House of Black as well, right, my friend?
That is my hope. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Young Bucks, but if they walk out with those titles, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I think that if they walk out with the titles, then AEW is really just dropped the ball on House of Black for a second time.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Don, what are you thinking on this one?
I want to see House of Black as the new trios champion. Aleister Black deserves a championship, whether it's trios or not, or singles. Aleister Black, that dude is amazing. And Buddy Matthews too. And I don't know much about Lance Archer, but when he was in that match with Hangman, yeah, he's good too. I really think they all deserve that trios title. I do. It's long overdue.
I agree totally. And I may say this, as beautiful as your boy Wardlow is, I am going to go ahead and say it. Poppy is the second most beautiful man in AEW. Buddy Matthews is a gorgeous man.
I'm going to disagree with that. I'm going to say the second.
Look at those muscles. Dude, he's mommy. He's with mommy.
Well,
Rhea enjoying that.
He's got that for sure. I'm going to say the second most beautiful, though, is Adam Cole. Have you ever seen that man in real life? That man
Okay.
is a handsome man. I met him in real life. He has piercing blue eyes that saw right into my heart.
I honestly, it's been so long since we've seen him in the ring. I forgot. Let me retract my statement. He is the second most beautiful man booked on this card.
Okay, well, I'll accept it.
Yeah, but Adam
I'll
Cole,
accept that.
shit, Adam Cole. I'm sorry, Don, but yeah, Adam Cole. We've met him. Super amazing guy too. Adam Cole's the most beautiful
absolutely.
man in wrestling. Period.
Yeah.
So
Adam Cole is one of my all-time favorite meet and greets. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Same
I've
here.
heard he's really cool.
It's amazing he's played a heel most of his life.
That's what I said, B-roll. Like, I am so happy to see them pushing him as a face because he has been a heel his entire fucking career, and he is such a natural babyface because nobody has anything bad to say about him in real life.
Yeah, I feel like too with him coming back, Adam Cole is the face of that. Like, can really kind of, I don't want to say save AEW, but man, he's going to be the guy. Because at some point, think of it this way: Adam Cole, MJF.
It's gotta
Holy
be.
shit.
Gotta be.
That's going to be
Gotta be.
epic on it. But that's a story for another time. Extremely. Tell me what you're thinking on this trios championship.
Speaking of piercing eyes, I can look straight into my heart. Listen, I'm a huge Malachi Black mark. I'm a huge House of Black mark. I want to spend my entire paycheck on all of their merch on AEWshop.com. I want every shirt of theirs to be worn by me every single day. They need to give them the titles, and then just a little bit of future booking here. Maybe Cassidy loses the All Atlantic title to Malachi. Just have them drenched in gold for a little bit. I think that's fine. I think that is a great way to start the reign of the House of Black, and I look forward to becoming a card carrying member.
There you go. House of Black becomes the House of Gold, perhaps.
I'm wearing an Aleister Black shirt right now.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I'm hoping and praying that this does not become a acclaimed at All Out 2.0.
Best of 7?
Yeah.
Oops, we fucked up.
Well, I mean, no. I gotta say too, like we got that visual of the House of Black with the gold at Dynamite too.
Yes.
I mean, it don't get much more intimidating than that right there. So
No, it doesn't.
I mean, please.
I love when they beat them up and jack them for them belts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please don't screw this up, AEW. Please don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I really hope they don't. So I think we're all in agreement. House of Black has to go over in this matchup.
Yes.
Yep.
All right,
Gotta be.
Con. We know you're going to be watching this. All right, let's talk about the triple threat for your AEW Women's World Championship with Jamie Hayter defending against Saraya and Ruby Soho. I don't know how I feel about this one, honestly. I mean, I'm happy to see Ruby be in a title matchup. I gotta be honest. I am not a big fan of the whole Saraya Tony Storm alliance and we're here to take over, and I don't know, man. I just ain't feeling it. I guess maybe it's kind of sort of early on, but I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. What do you think, B-roll, about this matchup?
Yeah.
Right? See,
I mean,
it's just
I have some fear with this matchup.
okay. What's your fear?
I guess my fear is that they're going to put the belt on Saraya. That's my fear.
She doesn't even. I don't feel she deserves it yet.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Well, I know one thing for sure is that Jamie Hayter does not deserve to lose it. This is her, right? This is her first pay-per-view defense, right?
It is.
Yeah, she is so over and does not need to lose this title yet, because your money match of her having that title is eventually when her and Britt Baker tensions get hot. There is
Right.
that's the money match out of this. Now the whole heel turn Tony Storm Saraya thing, it's just kind of weird, honestly. Let's
Exactly.
just be there. It is what it is. I have been theorizing this from the very beginning, though, is what I think, and I do think hopefully this will be a good payoff. I think this current feud that is going on with like Ruby Soho's right in the middle of it, of like you kind of have your OGs versus the outsiders type deal. I think this eventually leads to AEW's first women's blood and guts match.
I'm digging it. I could dig that. I would like to see that. MJ, what do you
I
think
would
about
like to
this?
see that too. Mhm.
Oh man, this is tough for me. So I'm a really big Saraya fan. I'm actually a big fan of all the women on this card. So this is tough, but
Yeah.
it's been weird. 100% agree with y'all. Like, I'm not a big fan of Tony Storm and Saraya as heels. The way they did it, just kind of, it was a weird transition. I don't feel like there's been like a lot of storyline build between this feud. I feel like it just kind of like needed something, so they kind of slapped it together. So that's frustrating for me because I really want to see Ruby eventually with the gold. I want to see her with a big push. I'm waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. But yeah, Jamie is so hot right now. I think that's a mistake to take it off of her, to be honest. And I almost feel like they haven't really showcased too many matches with her in between her win and All Out and now, or excuse me, Full Gear and now. Like, I feel like it's just kind of been, I don't know. I want to see her shine more. Like, I want to see more opportunities for her to shine because she's fantastic. And I feel like she deserves more TV time personally. I feel like they've been kind of trying to build this feud in a weird way instead of shining the light more on her as the champ. I don't know. It's weird to me.
I agree. I think that is kind of the overall consensus here. It's just like we love all the competitors, but this matchup, like the build and going into it, just doesn't feel right. I don't know. Hambone, what do you think on this? You got any theories, my friend?
So I am also a fan of all three of these women. I'm going to be the odd one out and say that I enjoy the heel turn for Saraya and Tony Storm. It was handled incorrectly, as a lot of things seem to be in AEW lately. But I think that it was the right call. For one, Tony Storm, I mean, she had her title run, she had her face run. Nobody cared. Like, I love Tony Storm. I'm a huge fan of hers, but her face run, her immediate run, nobody cared. She wasn't over. She wasn't the Tony Storm of old from WWE for whatever reason. And more so than that, Saraya came in, everybody was excited, and then the fans immediately shit on her. I think really that's what we missed with this storyline. Everybody's saying, why are they a heel? Well, I mean, they're a heel because you shit on Saraya as soon as she came back. But we did not get that promo from Saraya saying, hey, I came here to help AEW, and you guys just shit on me the entire time, so the hell with you. If we had gotten that promo, then this heel turn probably would make more sense.
Yeah,
but whatever, Papa Khan. I'm not free on Wednesdays or anything, but whatever. Really, if I was choosing who I want to win, it's Ruby. I'm a huge fan of Ruby. I think she has also been mishandled ever since she came to AEW.
Yes,
but I think the winner will be Jamie Hayter. I don't think her title run is over yet, but I do think that this match leads to her and Britt Baker. I have a feeling that Britt Baker is going to turn on her and actually join Saraya and Tony Storm.
Oh, that's an interesting twist. But yeah, I feel like ultimately at the end of the day on this one, Jamie Hayter retains, and because you guys are saying it, that money matchup, it is Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, and I feel like that's going to happen for the championship because I feel like that's going to be the ultimate. Like where Britt Baker finally just like turns on Jamie for that title. Don, what do you think on this women's world championship matchup?
I pretty much agree with Hambone. Was that Hambone that spoke before me?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to see Ruby with the belt. I love Ruby Soho. Ever since she was with the Ride Squad, I loved her. And I just want her to win a belt, win a title. They, like you said, they misused her in AEW. I'm not big on Jamie Hayter. I mean, I never watched her in AEW. I mean, WWE, so I don't. I mean, I don't know that much about her to even, you know. I seen her in like I saw her in the match last night. I mean, that wasn't even her. That was Tony Storm, wasn't it? I get
Yeah.
them two mixed up.
Yeah, Tony
I
Storm
get her
Rio
and
was
Tony
last.
Storm mixed up. But I haven't even seen Jamie Hayter. I haven't really even seen her like watched her in a match. And if I do, I'm not going to be focused on watching her in a match, which tells me that her as a champion is like uninteresting. It's not interesting to me. I'm waiting for somebody else to take it off of her. And I think Ruby Soho will be the good choice. But I know that she's going to retain. I know Jamie Hayter's going to retain because it's her time now. So
There you go. I think that's pretty accurate. I want to say this about the women's championship and the women's division. This is my honest opinion. I don't, and I mean this is no disrespect because I do love the talent that they have there, but I feel like that women's championship lost its luster once Thunder Rosa got hurt. Because I feel like we were in the middle of this huge, major, like potential babyface push, and they were kind of fucking that up from the get go too. If you look back, and then of course the injury with her and stuff, and I don't know. I feel like the championship holder, and I love Jamie Hayter, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it just hasn't felt the same since Thunder Rosa won the belt, in my opinion.
I think that the interim shit really hurt the title.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
they should have said, "Hey, she's injured. She's not the champion anymore. We're going to do a tournament," and just been done with it. And
Yeah.
it made it seem like it was still important, and they didn't do that with the interim thing sticking on it.
Yeah.
And especially like after Tony Storm, the entire time she was the interim champion, and then she was the official champion after she'd already lost the title. I think that really hurt her run too.
yeah.
Yeah, it really
But-
did.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, I mean, you could sum the scenario with an Delta tough hand. Tony Storm got Delta tough hand with being the interim champion. I mean, it was they kind of had to make an interim situation because of what they had just done with CM Punk, because they didn't make him vacate it, so. I mean, he was able to come back-ish in a fashion. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm drinking the haterade though. That's all I gotta say.
There you go. So I think a lot of us we pretty much all in the same. Oh wait, Extreme League. What do you think on this matchup? I'm sorry, my friend. I almost skipped you.
Hi, hello. No, you were totally fine. Okay, so I do agree it's probably going to be Hayter, but if I might do a little fantasy booking for those of us Ruby Soho fans in the chat, let's go ahead and say Hayter wins here. All Out, we do Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter, and then at Double or Nothing, we do Hayter versus Soho for the title, where Hayter drops the title to Ruby. And then at Full Gear 2023, we have Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's title. Jade is TBS championship list from losing it to just for my own for my own wants and needs, putting it out there into the universe manifestation. Let's say Willow Nightingale, like she lose Jade.
My future ex-wife.
But let's say Jade drops it to Willow at Double or Nothing. Then we finally have Jade going after the women's title finally at Full Gear. I think that would be a good year of AEW women's wrestling because they fucking need it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a head scratcher on this. The talent's there. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, the talent is there. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, it just seems like it just goes. They're following the same like formula and shit. It's like, okay, we're going to get them a match on Dynamite and Rampage each week. We're going to put it towards like the end of the show, so it kind of feels a little bit important, but it really isn't. It needs.
You know what? Let's be honest. Like, this isn't an AEW thing either. WWE's women's division sucks too. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the women's division has gotten worse under Triple H.
Oh no,
The only company that knows how to book a women's division right now is Impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. That's very fair.
I agree with you about WWE. They just, I don't know what's going on there.
It is.
I mean,
it is so true.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard to book a women's division for these companies, but it's not just an AEW
It
thing.
seems
That's
like
for sure.
ever since Naomi and Sasha left, that things went downhill.
Yeah, it's like they kind of have a couple of shiny moments, like Mommy and stuff. But yeah, it's just like, the talent's there. The shit needs to be better. But hey, that's another story for another time. We could do a whole show on that. But let's talk about it.
Hold on. Let me just throw one more thing out there, though, in regards to this whole thing. A certain Miss TBS champion does not have a match on this pay-per-view.
She doesn't, and I don't understand that.
What's to say? Because I doubt they would do it on Rampage, but what's to say during the pay-per-view she does not cut some type of promo saying that she is vacating the title to go after the world championship?
I don't even think she vacated. I think she'd just be like, fuck it, I'm done defeated. Like, I should be the number one contender. Like, I'm getting what's mine.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to do that simply because I think the plan has been all along, and I think they're still sticking to it. Chris Statlander, and I don't think that they're just going to hand her that title. I think they really want to give her a moment in being the first to defeat Jade.
Yeah, I don't think
I
Jade.
agree too.
I think Jade has to lose. I don't think she goes in undefeated. Well, it has to be the right person, like you say. And Statlander's definitely, in my opinion, anyway, the right person to do that. Like if
I think
was
Statlander was going to win it months ago before she got injured. I don't think that Jade would be the champion right now had Stat not gotten injured again.
That's wasn't she supposed to get a big push?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in the middle of a big push, and then she got hurt again.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah,
I see your point.
hopefully she gets back in the ring soon, and we can finally see that. But hey, let's talk about our main event, your AEW World Championship matchup, 60-minute Iron Man matchup. MJF defended against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Oh boy. So 60 minutes. Man, y'all follow MJF on Instagram and see like pictures of the boy, like with his workouts and stuff. Like he's shredded, man. So
he's insane.
Yeah, it's insane, like how good of shape he's in, and he's definitely going to be ready for this 60-minute war. B-roll. What are your thoughts on this Iron Man main event?
I am excited for it. Bryan Danielson is probably no, not even really probably, is probably the best technical wrestler in the world. But MJF is MJF. I think how you make this match credible, you have them, you make sure the falls are really, really close. Have them be in a tie, like heading into the final few minutes. And then ultimately, MJF will do what MJF does, find a way to cheat to win. And that's the final pinfall.
Yeah, I could see that. I do think this kind of when I see this matchup, I think back to when MJF met Darby Allin at Full Gear a while back, and the reason I say that is because like when we talk MJF, we always are thinking promos. But he can go in the ring, and I mean that's to me this matchup. I think this is going to like put him somehow even higher up on a pedestal, showing how well he can go in the ring by going up against arguably the greatest technical wrestler wrestling today and Bryan Danielson. MJ, what do you think on this one?
So I still am thinking it's going to sound like I'm still stuck on the women's match thing, but I feel like, and not to be stuck in the past with All Out, right, or Brawl Out, whatever. But I feel like AEW's really had a weird footing, like lost their footing in a way ever since that whole thing. And I don't know if they've gained that momentum back with any of their storylines and matches on the card. Because I kind of look at this too, and I talked to Hambone about this the other day on his podcast too. We were both talking about how I'm a big MJF fan, full transparency, also a really big Bryan Danielson fan. And so it just feels like the last few promos MJF has had have just felt really weird and disjointed and like kind of like he's trying a little bit too hard. And I feel like it kind of comes a little bit more naturally typically to him prior to like the last few promos. And that it almost feels like they're trying, like it gives me like Mean Girls. They're trying to make fetch happen with this match, like a little bit like the two competitors. It feels like they've just been trying so hard. Like it feels like a match I would have eventually wanted to see, but it feels like it was just kind of forced on us because we're like, well, who else is MJF going to go against? Adam Cole's not really ready yet. Let's just kind of push him with Danielson because fans want to see Danielson with a belt or the potential of him having a belt because fans obviously love Bryan Danielson. You have a lot of huge Danielson marks out there. So with that being said, I think it's going to be MJF, but it just still feels weird and disjointed to me.
Okay. That's fair enough. I think ultimately MJF's winning, of course. But Hambone, what do you think on this main event?
I agree very much with MJ that is the issue with AEW just overall right now. I don't feel as if they've recovered from Brawl Out. There was a good period there where I felt like they were just kind of in a transitional period, trying to figure out what they were doing from there. But I feel like at this point they should have figured it out. I think part of the issue with this match, MJ said, it feels kind of weird. And I think it feels kind of weird because ultimately MJF's title reign has been kind of mid, to use his own term, against him. I think AEW made a mistake in turning him back heel. I think they should have kept him face. He should have won the title as a face, and I think he'd be hugely over right now. But they turned him back heel, and I think ever since then, he's been cutting really weird promos, and it's not what the fans wanted, and that's why this world title reign of his is feeling a little weird.
MJF
All that being said,
he was face before?
well, there was that couple weeks where they were, before he had the title match, where they were kind of teasing that he was actually a face and he got turned on, by the firm and all that stuff. So they were teasing it. Yeah. And then he turned right back heel.
I thought I missed something.
No, it was just those couple weeks, but I think that's what fans wanted. And I think that's what they should have kept. But all that being said, I don't think there's any way that they take the title off of MJF right now. I don't think that title comes off of MJF through 2023. I think they keep it on him right till 2024 so that when contract negotiations come up, they can use that in a storyline. So MJF wins.
The bidding war of 2024.
I actually think because, B-Roll had, his idea of how the match would go. My idea would be WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match, my all-time favorite match. I could see that happening here, where they go the entire 60 minutes and either they are tied or there are no falls and they call overtime, and immediately MJF cheats to get the one pin, and that's how he wins.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see it going that way. Don, what do you think on this world title 60-minute Iron Man match?
I think MJF is going to pull out a win. I think I'm just going to be looking forward to the match itself, and enjoying the match itself, even though I know that MJ is going to win. I'm just looking forward to the match. I'm just going to enjoy the match.
There you go. Extreme League, what you got for us on this main event?
All right, I'm going to be the different person in the chat. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my TED Talk on how I actually absolutely love this feud and MJF as AEW World Champion. Now, is this a crowd where dark humor would be accepted?
Of course it is.
That's a fucking loop.
Sure.
I also had my fiance leave me once, Maxwell, but I did not have a world title to cling on to.
I remember that. I felt bad for you.
I'm virtually hugging you and supporting you, my friend.
Man.
It's fine. But so here's the thing with MJF, and I do agree with a lot of the criticism you guys have given this feud. I personally really I agree with a lot of your points, but here's the thing with MJF. As his career in AEW has gone on, he has increasingly gotten more violent and shown his more sadistic side and things of that sort. I think that's kind of what he's trying to go through with those promos. They just maybe have not come across as well to everyone as his like previous promo work and everything like that. But you go from like Full Gear, I think it was 2021 where he faced Darby Allin. I might be wrong on my dates, but long story short, like he does the thing with Darby Allin where he kind of mocks him with like a very simple wrestling move to beat him in a match, and then you cut to him with Punk, and he's like making Punk bleed buckets before their dog collar match at Revolution. So I feel like as we go throughout the year, MJF is going to continue to have the title, but increasingly get more violent and more sadistic as time goes on. And I think the way you set that up is, I'm going to be a bit of a contrarian here. I think MJF wins, but he beats Danielson clean. I think he needs to beat Danielson clean, and it could be 0 go into overtime, like I believe Hambone said. Like that would be great, but I think he needs to beat him clean to get atomic heat on this title reign and just carry that momentum to whenever he does eventually lose the title. I think like towards the end of 2023, beginning of 2024.
Yeah. Can I say one more thing on this? Just because
Absolutely.
Awesome. Extreme League brought up the whole MJF ex-fiance thing. And I have like this whole theory that like it's a work. Like that I feel like they're still technically together and that they like kind of blocked each other on social, right? Unfollow each other, all this kind of stuff. And then Devlin actually brought up a theory that I thought was hilarious on top of it. He was saying that like, what if he's like MJF's ex-fiance is in the crowd and like hands him like the diamond ring, right? Or like she's there with another guy, but then like she's really still with MJF, and at the last minute gives the ring to MJF, and then he wins that way, kind of a thing. I don't know. I don't feel like. I feel like it's got to be a work there. It just feels like the timing for MJF to bring it up. Like, I mean, I know he's pretty hardcore about that. He'll say anything on the mic, but I don't know. I feel like there's something there.
And to piggyback off of that, MJ, you know, MJF always lives in his gimmick, right? Well, look at it like this too. Like I'm thinking myself as like Maxwell. I'm not thinking myself as MJF here, like Maxwell outside of AEW. If you're going to be a despicable heel on television and say horrible and do horrible things, you're also a person outside of wrestling. So maybe once they found out that he was going to become AEW World Champion, maybe they had a discussion of like, hey, so we're going to run this so people think we're broken up. Like you said, we'll block each other on social media. We'll just do like a couple's finsta, just only have our friends. And yeah, just so whatever he says on television maybe doesn't get her flack or anything. I don't know. That could be it, but I'm just speculating on someone's personal life.
Yeah,
I would personally love to see that. After you said that, I was like, oh man, that would be beautiful if that was actually what happened.
yeah,
If I had a choice, that's what's actually going to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be one. And another thing that I was thinking of like you're talking about him getting into more of his darker side, sadistic side. Put Bryan Danielson's kid in the front row, and have MJF go up to them.
Oh man, could we see a Bella on AEW TV?
That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I know one thing: you can look, but you can't touch. Just throwing it. So ultimately, I think we're on agreement. MJF is walking out with the World Championship still in his grasp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
I want to come back to. I kind of teased this earlier in this show. Okay.
Oh no.
These pay-per-views, they typically AEW pay-per-views end like with something like huge, right? You know, like last time they were on pay-per-view, MJF won the belt. The time before that, MJF comes back and challenges Punk. Here's what I think happens. I'm not sure how MJF like retains, but I know he's going to retain. But at the end of the night, Danielson's in the ring by himself, and the entire Blackpool Combat Club comes out, right? And you think they're there to like, talk to him or whatever, and then like it seems like, oh, but you let Regal down. Like, how the fuck can you let Regal down like this? And then finally, they just turn John Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler heel. And like they turn on Bryan Danielson and just beat the shit out of him to end the show. And now you've got a new super group that is mega heels with the Blackpool Combat Club. And I think it would be awesome somehow. This is me. I know this isn't going to happen, and it probably wouldn't make sense with what just happened. But it feels like we're going to get at the Ring of Honor show Claudio against Eddie Kingston. But what if fucking Eddie come out like at the end of the night? And like was like kind of like actually stuck up. Maybe I don't want to say stuck up, but like was there because of like Claudio and shit because he's wanting a feud. They're getting ready to go into a feud to the Ring of Honor or something. That aspect of it's really my fantasy wrestling brain. Like I want to fucking see. I know it's not going to happen, but I think Blackpool Combat Club at the end of the night closes the show by going heel, turning on Danielson.
And I would agree with you there too, because I think just like I said earlier. Yeah, and not even in the same way, but there has always been this separation of Bryan Danielson and then the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club over here, whether it's Danielson getting his ass beat by a group and them not coming to help, or the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club are being pushed kind of in a more heelish way, while Bryan Danielson's the clear baby face, top baby face right now. So I would not be surprised that would happen. And I think even if that doesn't happen, ultimately I do see Bryan Danielson separating from the Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh yeah, it's inevitable, I think. And I feel like too, also in a way, if they do this, I feel like it finally it refreshes Mox, because we've seen Mox as this heel, and it finally, or as this baby face, and now we finally get to see Mox as like this badass heel, like full blown.
Yeah.
The only thing it could be kind of confusing is you already have your top heel in MJF, and I definitely don't think the Blackpool and MJF join forces or anything like that. That shit's not going to happen. I think it's just MJF's going to go on to do his thing, and Blackpool Combat Club goes on.
What if they did though? I mean, you could say that the Blackpool Combat Club come out, they beat up Danielson, and say you let down Regal, but MJF did exactly what William Regal would have done.
Well, that's true too. Let me say this: if that happens, Hambone, I think that they also turn on Moxley, and because I just don't see Moxley joining up with MJF. I can see Claudio and Wheeler doing it, which that wouldn't shock me. But I just think I think it would be more beneficiary for Mox if Mox is like still kind of the top. I don't want to say top guy, but like you know what I mean, like the face or whatever of the group. And like he turns like heel, because I feel like he needs to be working as a heel now, because we've seen Mox as this babyface, badass killer, whatever. Just he needs a fresh coat of paint, and I think that's what
he does. I agree very much.
Jay, I hope you know the TikTok I mentioned earlier in my drafts. You literally just said it verbatim.
Well, this isn't going to come out just yet, so go ahead and post that, baby.
It's all good, brother.
I'm not trying to steal nobody's gimmick, brother.
Yeah, I mean, let me just say this. I mean, I love that scenario. It's perfect for the story and everything. It's just all about timing, really. And when they pull that trigger, yeah, I mean, I am definitely there for that heel turn, for sure.
There you go, man.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't thought of that. That's why I'm kind of like at a loss of words, because like it was right there, but I hadn't thought of it.
It needs to happen. So time will tell. Well, do you all have any closing thoughts on Revolution? Like what you're looking forward to the most? What you think like was going to be match of the night? Anything?
Book Eddie Kingston.
Yes,
I don't care. I don't care if he quit. You book that man, damn it.
They need to.
I second that very
He's
much.
I can't say it. Contractually obligated to show up.
Look, I know we're not. This isn't about Revolution, but I'm pissed about that. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a huge Eddie Kingston fan. Ring of Honor's cool and all, but this is a demotion. He should be holding a title in AEW right now. And more so than that, it's bullshit that he got cooled off while Sammy Guevara is on TV every fucking week.
Exactly.
Amen to that, brother.
Exactly.
Let me say this though. Like, I understand where you're coming from with that, but I want to look at it from like a historical perspective, right? We're finally going to get Claudio and Eddie, and there's real life fucking heat there. It has been for years. And like with Eddie's kind of past history with like CCW on ROH and all that stuff, like how apropos would it be for Eddie to win that Ring of Honor World Championship?
Yeah, I mean, I like that Ring of Honor is back. I'm subscribed to Honor Club. I was watching it before we went on here. I'm down for that to happen. I just feel like 1 year ago, Eddie Kingston was the top babyface on that show, and they did nothing with it. More so than that, I also think that Eddie Kingston is the natural foil to MJF.
Yes.
MJF is the rich, brought up with a silver spoon in his mouth. I'm better than you. And Eddie Kingston is the everyman who had to scratch and claw to get his way to AEW. Yep. He is the natural foil to MJF, and he's the one who should take the title off it.
Listen, we do winners coming at Arthur Ashe. That pop's going to shake the subway system. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Book it, Papa Khan, because we know you're watching us.
And hire him.
And hire him. Yes, hire all of us. All right.
I need a job.
I need a job.
He don't have to hire me. He can just adopt me. I'm good.
Man, I'll just carry somebody's bags. I don't even care. I'll carry one of those bags.
There you go.
Whatever it takes to get the foot in the door.
Yes.
You know, even if I got to be like Tony Khan's like cocaine like holder or whatever. Oh, I went there.
No.
Oh, sorry. I love you, Tony.
You need another bump, Mr. Khan? I'm right on it.
No, you can play with his little men.
There you go. Well, hey, that's going to wrap it up for our Revolution prediction show.
I love that we're ending this on a Tony Khan loves cocaine. On that note.
So we want to thank our special guests, MJ, Hambone, Don, and Extreme League Wrestling. And if you're not doing it, folks, you need to go following them on all the social medias. All the kids do the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, not the MySpace, because I know that doesn't exist anymore. But you get the drip. Go follow them. They're good people.
It's a sad day that MySpace doesn't exist anymore. But also, disclaimer warning, we are taping this on a Thursday. Rampage has not happened yet, and Darby Allin is, gosh darn it, not booked on this card yet. So, by golly, we're probably missing a match.
It's okay, though. Well, we hope you all enjoy AEW Revolution. As always, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, I'm XLJ the OG, along with my partner in crime, Mr. B-Roll, and we'll see you at Revolution. Peace!